issue is not about politicians' reactions, but sometimes it is the followers' reactions to these issues. Now, Mr. Peter Obi could be very sincere. After I made that comment, some other people followed up the comments, and some even went further to say that even if he went to the shrine to swear, they will not believe him. Some others said he's just giving tales by moonlight. But by whatever way they are trying to address him, the issue I raise is not about Obi's integrity, but about how he panders with his supporters. Now, we all know that his supporters will not agree that while the Constitution says you are supposed to do 2 terms and then you are giving promises for 1 term, perhaps more importantly, if his performance in the first term is something to write home about, they will now urge him to continue. So there are so many obstacles to that promise. It is a promise made, but may not be a promise kept. So the issue is not whether Obi will keep the promise, it's whether they will allow him to keep the promise. However, I insisted on Jonathan because whether he makes a promise or not, it is immaterial. So we are not looking at Jonathan from the promise angle. That has been resolved. The law has already taken care. He cannot do more than 1 term. So if he cannot do more than 1 term by the provisions of the law and the Constitution, then the only thing remaining for him is to only do that 1 term and go away. And so the North will not feel shortchanged in the whole system, where continuity will be the watchword. The issue is the North also is desirous of getting the 8 years, since it has now become an unwritten law in the Nigerian political space that the South takes 8 years and then the North takes 8 years. And so if that is the case, it is better for the North to trust on somebody who will not violate that provision by being instigated by followers to say, okay, look, you are doing well, you have already restored the economy, you have done this, you have done that, so please continue. So it is not a failure of the political system, it is the failure of the political followership, who are always urging, whether rightly or wrongly, for somebody to continue.
So, Mr. Sani, are you saying that even though you agree that Mr. Peter Obi is a man of integrity, you still cannot trust him?
You see, the issue of integrity is something that has to be with the person. Now, the point is, most times politicians tend to pander to their supporters. Now, certain decisions of Mr. Peter Obi, if you believe me, if you agree with me, are more or less a reflection of the collective agreement and understanding of the obedient movement. So he doesn't want to offend the obedient movement, and the obedient movement want to vociferously support him. So it's a symbiotic relationship, and that relationship, he doesn't want to hurt it. Now, if he makes a promise and his area of consultation are not in agreement with that promise, then there is a problem. That is what I'm saying.
All right. So this sounds more like, for viewers or for onlookers, is this more of the North, Mr. Sani? Is this more of the North trying to ensure power goes back to them than fixing Nigeria?
No, you see, the issue is, I am from the PDP, and most of us in the PDP who are from the North feel highly very shortchanged. Now, why we are saying this is because if you take a trajectory of leadership of the 16 years of the PDP, you will understand what I'm saying. You will discover that the North had not done much within the PDP. All the leadership from the PDP were from the South. Now, when you equate that to Nigeria, it means you are saying that we within the PDP should now accept that Buhari worked for the North and not for Nigeria. He has used his platform of APC to campaign and to win elections. But we within the PDP, we didn't support him. In 2015, I supported Jonathan. I voted for Jonathan. My house was almost arsonists were in my house. They wanted to burn my house because they know I was supporting Jonathan. So, to me, justice is that within the PDP, power should move to the to the north. Even taking a holistic look at what is happening within the federation. Taking cognizance of the fact that we have even come to accept that Buhari's 8 years is a northern affair. But within our own platform, you know, we are operating a multi-party system. And if you are operating a multi-party system, it means everybody for himself, but God for us all. To your tent, O Israel. So, if you look at it completely, you will discover that most of the agitations for these things come from the PDP. We are not members of the APC. Buhari has done his 8 years, and then they say not has not performed. It is not that it is APC that didn't perform. It is not enough that didn't perform. APC are not performing, and so PDP during our time we have performed. So we are saying give a chance to the person who performed, and that the person you are removing, you removed the last time, and due to the allegations of non-performance, has now come that the rejected stone has now come back to be the cornerstone. He is now the person people are yearning for. Even in the north, they have a special name for him, for Jonathan, because he has done so much for the north. For instance, I can give you some of the things. In the 14 universities he created during his period, 9 of such universities were in the north. He was the first person to even think of the less privileged Almajiri, the itinerant education system in the north, to have created 166 Almajiri schools scattered all over the north, and there is no area that has not been affected by that Almajiri school. He also initiated the rail transportation from Kaduna to Abuja, the standard gauge rail line, and ensured that all the narrow gauge across the country were put in order. And so, more importantly, the North was the greatest beneficiary of the standard gauge and the narrow gauge. So, just putting these things in milder perspective, the North has viewed him as somebody who is more not friendly. For instance, I was discussing with somebody yesterday, and he said I should just name one gigantic project that Buhari has done in the north for the north. And I was looking around, I couldn't find any. Then I reminded him, I said, oh, there is a school of transportation in Daura. He said, but that one was also not even his initiative. It was Rotimi Aimechi who decided to do that and then go and notify him. And then he also did all the rail lines from Maiduguri to Maradi, from Kano to Kaduna, and the rest. But otherwise, he was not even thinking about the north. So this is my perspective of the whole situation.
So, Mr. Sani, do you think that someone like Jonathan, who a lot of, of course, when he was in government, they criticized him that the issue of competence, the issue of corruption, there were so many layers. Some people, they wanted any other thing aside Jonathan, and they were happy. Okay, Buhari came, everybody saw the results, and now President Bola Tinubu is here. Well, one of the big things he did was how he left office. I think that was one of perhaps the very first time we had a president's incumbent not going to court. He was the first incumbent to lose an election, and he didn't go to court. In fact, that phone call with him and Muhammadu Buhari literally doused whatever tension was building up in the country, and for that he's celebrated all over the world as a man of peace, and he's been traveling around as an envoy across board. Do you think someone like Jonathan is still interested in being president of the Federal Republic? Is there a conversation going there?
Yes, he's a Nigerian, and as a Nigerian, he has the right to aspire. He has a right to aspire to become president again, because he has a remaining term that he has not yet executed. And that will also depend on Nigerians. If Nigerians desire him, they will give him the chance. There are so many allusions to the fact that he's interested. Quite a lot of people, in fact, I will say, I was the first person to come public with it, to say Jonathan may contest, but nevertheless, up to now, there is no refutal or any other means of denying that my story is not correct. In fact, the story is gaining momentum, such that this morning on another platform, an international platform, the Hausa Internet, it was reported that he is holding meeting with Peter Obi to be able to, request Mr. Peter Obi to step down for him. That is to tell you that there is something brewing under the air, and Jonathan, has given Nigerians what they have lost within the APC years. He has given them confidence. He has given them a sense of nostalgia. People now think, during Jonathan, I used to buy rice now at 8,000 naira per bag. How come it is now 120, 100, you know, and maybe just of recent it has come to about 90, 80, you know? What is really happening? Why is the inflation affecting the naira? Or there was no free fall of the naira. As at the time Jonathan left office, the dollar to naira appreciation rate was $1 to 198 naira. So which means that he was able to manage the float for the naira float to the extent that, you know, our currency was not so devalued as to look almost, you know, using late General Idi Amin's words, you know, shit money.
So, Mr. Sani, if we get you correctly, this is the direction of the thinking of the opposition, People's Democratic Party, that there may be a groundswell of support within the rank and file of the party to bring back former President Goodluck Jonathan to contest the 2027 election. And if you're saying that he will complete the tenure of the South, which is 4 years, and he cannot by law anymore contest after that, what you're saying is that the PDP is prioritizing zoning above the interests of Nigerians. So it's not about what Nigerians really need now. It's about what the PDP is, you know, pushing such that power can return to the north. So the PDP is more concerned about power returning to the north than what Nigerians really need for transformation.
No, now I don't know what you mean by interest of Nigerians. Who defines the interest of Nigerians? The interest of Nigerians is to ensure equity, fairness, and justice. That's the interest of Nigerians. And how will Nigerians be judged as to what constitutes their own interest? What constitutes Nigeria's interest is when they decide who they want and at what time they want him. It is not about any other thing, because if it is transformation, you know, Goodluck has been tried, trusted, and tested, and he has the capacity to deliver. So why will Nigerians reject him? If he knows himself that Nigerians will reject him, he will not even agree to all the calls being made for him to join the race. So he knows that Nigerians at the moment are looking for not a messiah, because we cannot get a messiah in Nigeria, but we can get somebody nearer to a messiah. And that most times in the north, in fact, the current thinking is that if Goodluck Jonathan comes back, price of rice per bag will return back to 8,000, even though that is not correct. But because they believe that he has a magic wand, that there is something he can do to change the current dynamics, the economic dynamics, the security, even though security was one of the issues that affected him, but he was tackling it very well. At the time he was in power, he got the South African mercenaries who are experts in counter-insurgency attacks, and they came in, and we tried to buy so many machines. They were using the Leary law in America to deny us, so we had to go to Belarus and some other East African Eastern countries to go and buy them. We bought some of our tanks at that time. Even Boko Haram, as at that time, when those tanks were coming in, they normally call those tanks Ebola. Why do they call them Ebola? They call them Ebola because those tanks no EIDs sent to them will damage them, and they can step on landmines.
All right, Mr. Sani,
they can step on landmines.
But my apologies. I see that you're really marketing Goodluck Jonathan. Whether or not he chooses to accept is a different kettle of fish. But we must wrap up the conversation.
I have to tell you.
Yes, we're totally out of time. We're going to continue this conversation, Bukola.
All right, Mr. Sani. We wish I was holding on because I was expecting that you would tell us how, you know, former President Goodluck Jonathan would somehow return the bag of rice at the price of a bag of rice to 8,000 naira. But thank you so much for your time. We've been talking with the former PDP Presidential Campaign Council spokesperson, Mr. Umar Sani, and former media advisor to former Vice President Architect Namadi Sambo. Thank you for coming through on this one.
All right.
You listen to this man. This is the person behind dragging Jonathan. You listen to this one. Listen to this man. This is the man putting pressure on Jonathan just to rubbish his name, his image. Well, I said before, my video a couple of days ago, Up till now, I am still waiting. I have not heard where Jonathan said he have accepted to run. He have accepted all the different calls coming from different places that he truly wants to run. If you accepted that you truly want to run again 2027, that means you yourself, you are desperate, even desperate more than any other person. Because this one, they are putting pressure on you. This is the same man that you were not good enough to the North. Now they are giving you credit that you are the best. You're better than Buhari. You did a lot for them. They are still remembering you, dragging you to come back again just to rubbish your image. I said, you see, oh God, let me just wait. Let us wait and see if Jonathan is truly going to accept this offer to run, knowing fully well that even if you accept, it's not something that you will go to the market. You just buy what you wanted, they give it to you, pay money, they give it to you. Or if you do not have the money to buy it, people are ready to contribute and buy it, give it to you, say go home and keep it. Election 2027 is beyond that. It is not like that. So you are not even sure. PDP is nothing to write home about now. PDP cannot win the election in 2027. Why should it be you to run for them in 2027? Knowing fully well that the PDP is in disarray for now. PDP needs urgent attention. PDP cannot win the election in 2027. He can't. So what am I saying? It is very good Jonathan did not run. Even if you run, you are not going to win. You are only going to sprint the vote for Peter Obi. Make it possible for Atiku to Tinubu to win, if at all that must be because the rumors will be here now. May God keep all of us alive. So I don't even want to talk about Atiku. Jonathan, you heard Peter Obi very well that he said he's going to do 1 term. Even Atiku, yeah, he said he's going to do 1 term, but there's no trust. Now they are pushing you forward to complete your 8 years. I do not know. This is not constitutional. Nigerians make it to be so. Do 8 years, do 8 years. No. For me, now let's put it this way. The reason why we are saying 8 years, 4 years. If we truly have a president who is doing well, is it just for the benefit of the North or one tribe to say the president is in this region? Not because they have what it takes to change Nigeria, to actually give this country what the country desire, or to change the country, not the wishes of Nigeria. It's just because power was to go there. If we have Jonathan, we have Tinubu as a president. After we suffer 8 years of Buhari recklessness in office, now Tinubu is in power, taking us 50 years backward. If we truly have a president who knows what he's doing, not Tinubu, 2 years in office, he's able to change the country in a positive way. He's able to turn the country around like Dubai. He's able to bring some certain changes. He's able to restore peace, hope for the hopeless, restore security, productions, taking this country out of consumption, giving it just like Peter Obi said, solving the issue of corruption, all those things. If you could feel it, reduce the price of petrol below the price where Buhari left it, not to increase it. Price of food and services goes down below where Buhari left it. Dollar goes down below the price, pound sterling, euros. If he is able to do this, and we truly see that the country is working, should we be complaining about Tinubu is not doing well? Should we, in 2027, would there be any reasons to campaign to say Tinubu should leave? No, because he's doing well. So if we have somebody who is truly doing well and the country is getting what they wanted, the citizens are feeling the impact of a good governance, why should we rush? Why should we hurry? Why should we take him out of office? It should continue. As far as the country is working for every one of us, everybody in the country can feel it. And some regions are not being sidelined. So why should we be worried where power goes? Why should we be worried whose region to produce the president? What matters to thousands of people, millions of people in this country? What matters to them? They don't care who is the president. They just want to see that the president is doing well, that they can go to school, their children can go to school, they are okay. Or they go to school, they don't have to tax their parents to pay their school fees. Education is free. People don't care. In your communities, your rural area, everywhere you are safe, you are protected, you have electricity to use, you have good roads. Who cares who is the president? Those things, all these primary objectives for the government to do, if they meet up with all these objectives, why should we complain? Less than 2 years in office, the rate of insecurity has increased, the rate of kidnapping has increased, right? So leave that. I don't even want to talk about Atiku because Atiku feels that the work belongs to him, that he owns everything. And nobody can change, nothing anybody can do about it. This is somebody you run for 6 times. If you run again 7 times, what strategy do you have that you have not? What makes you think this time you are going to win the election when we now have a terror? The time we have a simple person, when we still live under a democracy, election, the rigged election, it was still there. Now we now have a terror as a president. So what now gives you the assurance, because you are forming ATC coalition, that you are now going to win the election this time? So Jonathan is what I'm talking to. Please, I beg you before, go home and relax. This election is not for you. Do not allow these PDP members to drag you to the mall. They will just rubbish your name. They leave you. They said you were not good enough. Now they are begging you. You are not the Messiah for them. If they do not have anybody to zone that ticket to in the same north, in the same south, in the same southeast, they do not have anybody. Let PDP should not contest. If they do not have any other person aside from Jonathan, you should say no to them. I said it. I know what I'm saying. Because even me myself, if you try, you contest, and you lose this election, you waste Peter Obi opportunity, or you waste another person opportunity. Even me myself, the way I will join there to denigrate you, because it's only just a way to waste another person's opportunity. If you were good enough at that time, 100 of you put together cannot solve the problem of this country. You were good, you were not the best. You were good as a president, things were good under you, but you were not the best. You were not the best. You don't have any magic now. You are not even ready to struggle. You are not ready to fight. You are not ready. If you were ready, you would have done it. At that time, this power shouldn't have been taken from you. Do you understand? So, anyways, I've said it too. Please, go home and rest. Election is not for you. I'm still waiting for your official statement to say yes or no. Then we know where you stand. For now, it's still rumors. PDP are dragging you. They are putting pressure on you. Now giving you credit, kudos, that you did very well. Come and replicate what you did before. And you have what it takes to change the economy. You have magic to correct the economy of this country. It's a lie. They are pressurized. They are putting pressure on you. Don't be deceived. Please share this video and please subscribe to this YouTube channel for more.